Hey, 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 it's Sunday, and you know what that means? It is another episode of the Man Event. Your host for the evening, we have Pooh Bear, the Chief, TSG is a special guest. I am B Love. Was Friday night one of the most stressful nights to be a Rays fan?
Quite.
The Buccaneers, what did they do to themselves? There's a fly in the ointment. Governors are being targeted, and we lost a rock legend. Thanks for joining us tonight. Buckle up. This is the Man Event.
Chapman, no regular lefty. 3-2. Brasso sends one into left field. Gardner going back, and it is up and gone! Mike Brasso has homered, and the Rays have a 2-1 lead. What a moment for Brasso. Tampa Bay on top on the 10th pitch of the at-bat.
Victory!
Yes!
Victory! Yeah! I can watch that all night.
I can watch it all night too. So great.
Wow, that was awesome. Talk about that was a stressful evening.
Dude, there were like 6 hits in the whole evening. 3 of them were home runs.
What is on your head? What is on your head?
Is there something on my Oh, it's a doggone fly. What the
Oh my goodness. There's a fly in the ointment.
There is a fly
Wow.
in the ointment. All right.
Wow. Yeah, that was a crazy, crazy game. Man, I hate like game 5s and game 7s. But like that one was but that one was what's the word I'm trying to think of? It was undecided all night.
Yeah. Every pitch mattered.
Yes.
Yeah.
Even after that, like even when it went to the 9th, I'm thinking this isn't over. With the Yankees lineup, this is not over. I was standing up, sweating. It was whatever time it was, midnight or something. It's crazy.
I was sweating. I was definitely sweating. I'm alone in the family room watching the game, and I'm cheering by myself. That's screaming, clapping, yelling at the TV. No one around me.
So I'm in my office at work, and I got the game on. I have a TV behind me in the office, and we just take the lead. I go out to the day room where the rest of the guys are at, and I said, "You guys realize that the Rays are just about to win the division series?" And they're, we can watch it. We'll turn off Driving Miss Daisy here, and we'll turn on I said, God, this is so bad.
They weren't watching the game?
No, they weren't watching the game. I was really disappointed. They did watch the end of it, though. We watched the end together.
Our crew was watching. We were all watching intently.
Well, that was the real firehouse on
Friday the 4th battalion right there.
That was the manly
firehouse. Thank goodness.
So
yeah,
never has there ever been a playoff series where it was a final game, one team goes home, one team moves forward, where neither team had more than 3 hits in the history of the playoffs for the MLB.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. 6 combined hits that night.
Yep.
And of those 6, 3 of them were solo shots. So that's pretty crazy. I mean, that was a tight game. And you had some pretty good pitching that went out on the mound that night on both sides, of the diamond. So, man, that was exciting. I mean, and an unlikely hero in Brasso, what was that? Let me ask you, is that a bigger home run than Dan Johnson's home run?
That's tough.
I know.
That's the winning run. So I don't know.
So
I put that one up there with Evan Longoria's home run
in game 162.
Yes.
I mean, they're all definitely in the conversation. Those are all definitely in the the Mount Rushmore of Rays moments.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, I have a great 162 story, but we don't have to talk about that now. But that unlikely hero. Just a couple of weeks ago, Aroldis Chapman, who he hit that home run off of on Friday night, went headhunting.
Yeah.
Brasso, and it ended up being a bench clearing. I mean, they never really brawled, but they certainly yelled at each other with their masks on.
Right.
How fitting.
And Brasso did homer. I think he homered twice the next night.
He homered twice the next game after that, but that was 101 mile per hour fastball he hit out on Friday night.
It was 100 mile an hour one he took towards the head too.
Yeah,
that's true.
It was. And the crazy thing is Austin Meadows, another kind of Dan Johnson thing, has a .14 batting average.
Yeah, he is not for the postseason or for all season.
Postseason.
Yeah, he was struggling. Of course, he didn't get in too many games. I think he was coming back from injury, so he didn't have a lot of at bats.
Hey, help me understand this stat, because I don't think I heard it correctly or was misrepresented to me. I'm not 100% sure on this, but the stat was that no one on the Rays team was drafted. That can't be correct? I don't think that's right. I think it was probably like they weren't drafted maybe in the top 10 or something like that. But I mean, they are essentially.
There's no way you've got 25 guys in that dugout who are all undrafted.
Yeah, so there's something wrong about the way this was presented to me, but I think that the gist of the story is this is the bad news Bears / Rays.
Now, what could be a possibility, Chief, is that the Rays didn't draft any of those players. Like none of them are homegrown. Like none of them came up through our farm system.
What about Snell?
Pooh Bear, I know this would be your wheelhouse. Put some thought into that real quick.
I am.
They were talking about it earlier today, Chief, because I know what you're talking about. I caught just a little gist of it, and they were only
Willy Adames.
They only said, that's all they said was Willy Adames and Kiermaier were the only two perennial players. Everybody else was kind of this mixed match, put together by platoon type of style that we have that really works.
That is interesting. I didn't even think of that, but yeah, you're right.
Listen, I don't think anybody makes moves better than the Rays. For whatever reason, they've got this secret sauce. And I mean, you look at what we got in the trade. We were all angry when Archer got shipped to the Pirates.
No, I wasn't.
Yes, we were.
I wasn't.
I wasn't. No, because I knew he had not been performing. He was inconsistent at best. And no, I was all for getting rid of Archer and
he got in his own head. He was a head case.
At best was Glasnow. That guy couldn't stay on the mound, in Pittsburgh. And then we get this cat Austin Meadows. No one's ever heard of him before. I mean, I was like, we got nothing when we had something.
And here's the news flash: the third guy in that trade that's in AAA. Well, it was in AAA last season. A guy named Boz. Look out, okay? Look out. So yeah, and those are two of your heroes from Thursday night. Between Glasnow and Meadows.
Glasnow showing up, pitching on a day and a half rest. Unbelievable.
2 days rest.
And he will not go. So tonight, Snell is pitching tonight. Morton has been penciled in for tomorrow. That puts Glasnow.
So, I mean, here's the thing. TSG, you said this earlier. The way that they took the pitching strategy into Friday night, you've got Snell and Morton who are well rested. To start this series off.
They were warming up in the bullpen for the ninth.
Yeah. So pitching advantage, I think, right away, goes to the Rays in this series. But I don't know. I'm pretty excited to be playing a team other than somebody from the AL East.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And go ahead.
I'm just going to say that first pitch is in 20 minutes in the middle of the show. So, I can't see it from where I'm at. So if somebody wants to send us some live updates, I would really appreciate that.
I will bring it up on my laptop. It'll be via the Hulu Live TV app, which, by the way, is not as advertised. It is not live.
It's definitely not live.
It is a good 30 seconds behind at best. So Hulu Live, get your crap together. You're not live.
Yeah. So, B-Love, to what you were saying, some other advantages that we have going up against the Astros. They have a lot of right-handed hitters, and so do the Yankees. and we've got a lot of power pitchers that throw a lot of heat, and that works to our advantage. It really does. And Greinke, their pitcher, he's had a rough end of the season. He had a real high ERA his last 7 games, and he hasn't played well. And then, of course, we're not up against Verlander. He's having surgery.
Yep.
Yeah, he had the Tommy John surgery. And, of course, Cole.
We just beat Garrett Cole.
Exactly. Yep. So it's looking good for us. It's really looking great for us.
Yeah.
Well, and their most valuable player, the trash can lid, is not playing.
Yeah. Listen,
Yes.
I'm glad you brought that up because I did a little bit of looking into this today while I was watching some football. And obviously there's some history here. They beat us 3-2 in the ALDS last year. And then obviously the Astros went on to play in the World Series and get beat by the Nationals. But they won all of their home games. Right now, I know home field advantage is something that is a good advantage, but when you're cheating the way that they were, it's definitely a special advantage.
Yeah. And
the games that we played here at the Trop against them, they scored like 4 runs in 2 games. So they averaged 2 runs a game. The games at Minute Maid Park in Houston, they averaged 5 runs a game. I don't know. I looked at some of the stats. The Astros, obviously, most people know, were caught cheating at the end of last season, the 17, 18, and 19 season. They won the World Series in 2017. That was the year they started the cheat. But, huge fallout here. 2 managers were fired, general manager suspended, their on-field coach fired as well. No players disciplined.
they paid
except through beanball. They also paid $5 million. They had paid a $5 million fine, which I don't know. I guess is probably nothing.
That was part of the deal for the truth, right?
Yeah. Here's the crazy stat, and this is what I went looking for today: is they had the 2nd most prolific offense in Major League history against a team that had Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig. If you remember Murderers Row from the New York Yankees back a gazillion years ago. 5 of the 6 Yankees in that, the 5 of the first 6 batters in that Yankees lineup hit above 300. So that was the most prolific offense in Major League Baseball history. The Astros were number 2.
Wow.
Right?
With an asterisk for Astros.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Altuve won an AL MVP. He batted 341, 338, and 346 in those 3 years that they cheated. He batted 219 this year.
Yeah, I find that interesting you brought that up because you're right. So Correa, Springer, Altuve, all their big hitters had down years as far as average and home runs as well. But in the playoffs, they've started to escalate that. I think Altuve was batting 330 something in this last series.
Dude, they put up a lot of runs. I think they won their last game like 11-1, something like that.
Yeah, so that's not that's a little scary.
Every time I hear the name Altuve, I think of the plane.
Boss.
Boss.
That was I mean, it's Fantasy Island, I know, but
Fantasy Island.
Tattoo is what it is.
Tattoo, yeah.
Yep.
Tattoo.
That is funny.
Before we move on, I do have to make a mention that the Rays, after they beat the Yankees, were playing a certain song on the field. Maybe just rubbing it in just a little bit. Do you know what song they were playing?
I'm going to guess I did it my way.
New York, probably.
New York.
Wow.
New York. And that's the song they play when they win games at the end.
Well, that was during the dance party, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, so they went to the locker room, had some cigars, popped some confetti and some champagne, and then came back out and had some sort of a dance party on the field at Petco Park.
That's pretty.
And trolled the Yankees pretty good.
Chief, I think the second song they played was My Way. I think that was the second one they played.
That one actually fits the Rays better than New York. So
right, yeah. But
the New York was the rub in the nose of them.
I get it.
Yeah, that was a pie in the face. Yeah.
So then you got a CBS sports analyst I was watching.
Oh my gosh.
Who says he basically is just not happy about the Rays winging it, thinks it's bad for baseball. and he's asking his guest on there, which was, let's see, Cohen. I'll have to see what it was. But anyway, he says, don't you think it's bad for baseball that the Rays went forward and moved on instead of the Yankees? And he says, not at all. I'm not concerned about that. He goes, all I want to see is the two best teams in the World Series. That's all I care about. And the guest was pretty up on the Rays and actually predicted the Rays earlier in the year to be against the Dodgers in the World Series.
Not a bad
Could
pick.
pan out that way. I don't see what's bad for Major League Baseball right now for the Rays to continue on this.
I can see an argument for TV ratings would be bad.
Yeah, but right now people are dying to watch something good on TV.
Absolutely. But I'm just saying that typically anytime you have Boston, New York, LA, Dallas, in the Chicago on TV, you have good ratings just because
those are big TV markets.
Right.
We're a small market, no name players. I can understand his point, although I don't appreciate it. And I'll tell you something else. You know, the announcers during the game, they were 100% behind the Yankees. They were just, I mean, you could just tell they were just waiting for their time to yell, the Yankees win. And they didn't get it.
Yeah. And again, they're the people being paid by TBS who is broadcasting and is going to have more eyeballs on their television station if the Yankees are in it.
Sure.
So, maybe even subconsciously they're rooting for them, the Yankees to win. And
it was consciously.
Well, I'm just saying
we were conscious about it.
Even if Ron Darling's okay, he's not my favorite. And they had the other Brian Anderson, right? Because our local guy is Brian Anderson. They have the national Brian Anderson. So hopefully we don't get that pair again for the ALCS. Hopefully they change it up. I'm not sure exactly who the rest of the ABC or TBS commentators are, but this needs to get over with and get on to Fox and give it Joe Buck and just be done with this. Even as much as I don't like Joe Buck, but he's way better than these knuckleheads. Yeah.
And the correction on that is the guest was Jim Bowden, just as a correction on the name there.
Okay.
So here at the main event, we're pretty excited to get the ALCS best of 7 series here against the Astros. The winner goes to the World Series. So we did have some losses this week here at the main event. Yeah. And we had the Tampa Bay Bucks loss, which we'll get into in a minute. But we had the loss of a rock legend, Mr. Eddie Van Halen.
Nice.
The Grinnin Guitarist.
It's not blonde, but I figured,
neither was Eddie. Eddie wasn't blonde.
You were.
If you ever wanted to know what I looked like with hair,
man.
That's not just hair. That is hair. That's a lot of hair.
What's TSG got? Oh, he's got. Are you gonna play some Van Halen?
Look at this.
Man, I need my guitar. Where's?
Are you gonna play some Van Halen here, TSG?
Me and you, B-Love.
Let's hear it.
No.
You can sing.
That's all we got. That's all right. Not Van Halen. So
no. Hey,
Eddie Van Halen, fantastic guitarist and keyboardist, by the way. And I grew up with Van Halen. I enjoyed watching him. Those guys. When you go to a concert, a Van Halen concert was fun. It was energetic, and they looked like they were having fun up there. And it just. A huge Van Halen fan, very sad, of course, to see him go.
Eddie Van Halen is the one who invented yoga pants.
Really?
He always wore those tight spandex pants.
They all kind of wore them, I think.
Trust me, if David Lee Roth could wear less, he would have worn less.
So, you guys have some favorite Van Halen memories?
Oh yeah,
yeah, absolutely.
One of mine, maybe it comes as a surprise, but I'm old enough to two things. One, to purchase or acquire the album 1984, and second, when it was new, and secondly, on an actual album vinyl. If you guys remember those.
Wow.
Things. So yeah, my parents didn't want me to have that because if you remember, the artwork on the album was very controversial. It was a cherub smoking a cigarette from a pack, and so my mother, being raised, I was raised Southern Baptist, and that was not going to happen in my house, so I couldn't have it. But my aunt, thank you, Aunt Carol, slid it in there for me. I don't know if it was my birthday or at some point in time I got it as a gift, so I was able to listen to it then. But that was what's
crazy is that was controversial in 1984.
Right. It'd be nothing now. Right.
I know,
and for good reason. I mean, think about it. You're raising a child, but you've got a child on the front of an album smoking a cigarette, and that was the whole point. Right. So putting Eddie's face or David Lee Roth's face or the band art on the album wasn't going to sell. It had to be controversial. It needed to draw up. Even though the album it's a classic. My goodness, Hot for Teacher, Panama. What else is on that? 1984. Jump.
Yeah.
I mean, just an amazing album with songs that are played in car commercials now, right? It's like
wow.
Crazy. So I saw a meme recently that said,
I feel old.
I hope you're old enough to know that the controversial music you used to listen to is now inside of a car commercial, for Cadillac or something.
Hey, don't forget their album For Unlawful Carnal Knowledge. A lot of people didn't get that,
what is it? What's it called?
For Unlawful Carnal Knowledge.
Can you abbreviate that for me?
Can we talk about? He can't abbreviate. Can we talk about favorite songs?
Yeah, Chief, hit it
Absolutely.
up.
So I've got so I have an all-time favorite song. I'll get to that one, but I have, I grew up with them, and these songs, they just mean something to me, So let me just start with Panama, because in 1989, the United States invaded Panama, and one of the invading units was the 5th Infantry Division. I was in the 5th Infantry Division. Now, I didn't go to Panama. I got out in September. They invaded in December. But that summer before, where everybody's getting conditioning and getting up to speed on, Panama jungle warfare, around the base every morning they would play Panama for PT. It would just be blasted across the entire base, and it was just everybody knew we were going. I think even the Panama Noriega, Manuel Noriega, the dictator, he knew we were coming too. I don't think it was a surprise, but so that was a song that I always go back to. It's been a while now, but
well, I think that's great, because I think we all probably have certain songs that when they come on, they bring back memories.
Yeah. Right? So my second song is this one. This one is more. The song is cool, but the video is cooler. And I'm going with "Hot for Teacher."
That's a winner. I vote that one.
I brought my pencil. Give me some white out, man.
and then my favorite Van Halen song, and by the way, in the battle of David Lee Roth or Sammy Hagar, guys, I'm in the minority. I'm going to go Hagar on this. Is "Dreams." That is my favorite Van Halen song.
That's good. Those are some good picks right there. I watched Hot
Here's the thing.
3 times today.
You watched
it 3 times?
I don't know that I've ever heard "Dreams" before.
Yes,
but you got to remember, I'm significantly younger than you guys.
No. You're using the word significantly wrong, first of all. And secondly, let's just you're not.
Well, how am I not significantly younger?
How much younger than me are you? You're like 5 years younger. That's not significant. My wife is 7 years. That's significant.
Okay. What song is that?
This is Dream. Hold on. Eric has a chorus. Are we allowed to broadcast this?
Yes, because we're not.
I figured we already did the baseball thing, so we're
not monetized yet.
Yeah.
This is a great man. What a great
They did the
song.
Blue Angels in the video. It's fantastic.
Yeah. Is that where this one sits with you because of Blue Angels, or was there some other stuff, Chief?
No, I like the song. It's an awesome song.
Yeah.
Motivational song,
Yeah, it's a good song.
He did things with his voice. I was listening to some of those songs again today, and as a failed musician that I am, I listened to some of the stuff he did, man, and his vocal inflections and the stuff that he did was just He was constantly changing tempo, constantly changing his octaves, and just moving around where it was always interesting. And you don't realize that until you start to listen to it from that perspective. For me, anyway, he was great.
No,
So TSG, did you have a favorite Van Halen song?
Yeah, I'm with the Chief. It was Hot for Teacher for me as well. I did also like Jump as a little. So as a kid, when I first saw Hot for Teacher, my eyes were just glued and just bugging out. Like I'd never seen anything. So my grandmother never let me watch anything like that. And I went over to visit some friends, and they had MTV on, and well, here you go.
That was when you decided you liked girls.
Yeah. That's when I knew that they existed. Yeah.
Wow.
No, but yeah, it was good stuff. And then Jump was another good one. Of course, California Girls, man. That's an American song there.
Mm.
Yeah, it's hard for me to pick an absolute favorite. I can't pick it's a favorite. There's just no way. So they're just different times. I like to hear one album I really enjoyed was Balance back from the mid 90s. And it was different. It wasn't rock and roll was still trying to hang on with grunge pushing its way in, and it was just still different enough to remind me of my high school days, and yet new enough to be fresh. And that was an impactful album. I remember listening to that one specifically a lot in my car. But yeah, just a sad loss. And I guess what makes it sadder is the fact that, and I may be wrong on this, but the stories I've read, he was diagnosed with mouth cancer years ago, but still didn't stop smoking. So just kind of a frustrating thing when this is something that's preventable.
Yeah.
It's good. Now, who knows what his liver looked like and other things.
I'm really thinking he's thinking of all the bad habits I have. This is the least of them. Let's go with it.
And maybe that was his decision. He's like, hey, something's got to kill me. It's going to be these.
It's going to be these.
Hey, quality of life.
We haven't heard from you, man. Of course, you didn't know who Dreams. I said, do you have a song? Or this is really outside of your era.
You might as well ask me about comedy movies.
It's a little bit outside for me, but I would say mine would be Right Now.
Oh, that's a good one. A powerful video, too. Even more powerful video than song.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Didn't they have that with Crystal Pepsi? That was like the song for Crystal Pepsi when they launched it.
Crystal Pepsi, man, I remember that.
Wow.
Yeah.
It lasted like one cycle through making it.
That was terrible.
Crystal Pepsi.
Yeah, it wasn't very good.
Somebody on YouTube tried a original can of Crystal Pepsi from mid 90s and opened it and tried it.
Ooh. That can't be good.
It wasn't. Gosh. Your face said it wasn't good.
All right, so we put together a list of the top stadium anthems.
Yeah.
So think you're at a ball game, hockey game, football, whatever it is, and they play these anthems that get people amped up and going crazy, right? So here's the top 10 list of stadium anthems. First of all, anybody want to take a guess of what are some of the songs on the list?
I know that like Start Me Up. Well, now we're talking songs played in the stadium or just because like Start Me Up by the Rolling Stones is played at like almost every game before kickoff, before first pitch.
Interesting. It's not on the list.
Really?
Wow.
Well, it's an honorable mention.
All right.
Sweet Caroline is played it. I know that they played it at Florida football games. They also used to, well, they don't not anymore, but they used to also play it at Penn State games. And I've been some other places, where they Sweet Caroline. Here we go.
Right.
Sweet Caroline at Fenway from John. He's right.
It is synonymous with sweet.
There you go. So that's number 10. That's number 10 on the top 10 list. TSG, Pooh Bear, what you guys got?
We Will Rock You. They gotta play.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Well, We're Gonna Rock You is going to be the other Queen song.
We Are the Champions.
We Are the Champions. Thank you.
Yeah.
Why do they always play those two songs together?
they're not the same song.
Yeah, but it's always played together. You're right.
Always
All right.
played together.
Yeah, so-
two different songs.
So number 10 was Sweet Caroline, Neil Diamond.
Right, right.
Okay. Number 9, Who Let the Dogs Out? Who? That's number 9.
Really?
You said rock anthems, not crap.
Did they?
I said stadium.
They played that one
I
at
said
the Browns?
stadium anthems.
Man.
All right.
Stadium anthems.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Number 8, Na 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 Na. Say goodbye.
All right.
Bye, Yankees. Bye,
Goodbye,
Yankees.
Yankees.
All right. Number 7. Number 7 is a song I don't know that I know. Kincraft 400.
Nope.
We got nothing. All right.
I don't know
Number
where you got
6.
this list from.
Number 6. YMCA.
Yeah.
Awful.
You know, they do that one like during a commercial break or something like that. I'm not sure that's a real anthem. It's just a kind of a long. That's it's just a filler song, but it's a good one that everybody participates.
How do you spell this Kincraft?
Kencraft.
Yeah, I just typed that in. There is nothing in.
Maybe I wrote it down wrong. All right. Number 5, Blitzkrieg Pop by the Ramones.
Yep.
All right.
Number 4, Get Out Your Seat and Jump Around. Jump around. Jump up and get down.
Oh,
Okay.
terrible.
All right, number 3. I don't think I've ever heard this one either. The 7 Nation Army by
Yes,
White
you have.
Stripes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Bum, 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 bum,
Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Probably
All right, number 2 is a personal favorite of the Chiefs by GNR.
Oh, welcome to the jungle. Yes, it is. my all-time favorite song right there. I love that song.
They tend to play that
Welcome to
at
the jungle.
Cincinnati Bengal games. They play that in several stadiums.
Yeah. All right, this wig's getting hot. I'm going to lose
It's
it.
I'm getting itchy too,
I
man.
can imagine.
All right, so we talked about number 1 already was "We Will Rock You" by Queen.
Yeah.
Some honorable mentions: "Crazy Train."
Okay.
How about "Enter Sandman" by Metallica?
Yes.
That's a great
Great.
defensive guitar riff.
And another one that's a great anthem too: AC/DC,
Anything by AC/DC.
"Thunderstruck."
Oh yeah.
Favor the Lightning. They
Lightning
play
game all the way right there.
All the time.
Yeah.
I feel like these
So-
should have been up higher on the list.
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, these should not be honorable
These are-
mentions.
These are good
Here-
tunes.
Here's something crazy. So my daughter, my oldest, has kind of been teaching herself to play piano.
She's playing Thunderstruck.
Well, no, but she wanted to learn how to play. We Are the Champions by Queen.
Mhm.
Okay,
All right.
so she starts learning how to do the fingering and all of that stuff, and it just made me think like the songs that are popular today, you can't really play on a piano or a guitar.
No, you need a computer.
Yeah, so like I said, listen, I got to introduce you to some real music. So I take her off the piano and start playing some songs from the 80s and the 90s. But you go through some of those songs of the 80s and 90s, and most of them, I mean, Pat, you love to play. You probably played a lot of those on the guitar. Today's music isn't really,
No.
kids aren't picking up the guitar or sitting behind the piano and playing, the songs that are coming on the radio now.
Who didn't one of your daughters play violin? Or was that
Me, no.
Clifford? Was it one of your kids?
No, we played the three of us. Played the guitar for a while.
Oh.
I
Well,
got
if
stuck on the
anybody-
water down pat.
If anybody ever starts playing violin, they have to learn this song. Down and Out by Tantra.
Yeah.
Mm.
Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun,
So
dun, dun.
good.
Yeah.
It's such a good song. We never hear the rest of it because all we hear is the violin intro, but the rest of it's actually a really good song. Tantric's not like a well-known band. They don't have a whole lot of other hits, but it's not a bad little group.
Yeah, these days Evan Longoria doesn't have a lot of hits either.
Ooh. Wow. Yeah, but the songs now are very electronic. It's a different way of going about it, for sure. Right. So yeah, I think the honorable mention should have been higher, but hey,
No
You know.
doubt. Who let the dogs out? That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I feel like that's
So
at
did we-
the Browns game only at the Dog Pound. I think that's like one stadium there.
Maybe they play
I don't know.
at like
listen, I feel-
women's NBA or something. I don't know.
I feel like, I want you to go back to the Buccaneers Super Bowl years, not these Super Bowl years, and as in the current ones, but the ones when we actually won the Super Bowl. That defense, I feel like when we would go to games, they would play Who Lets the Dogs Out all the time.
That was what 02, 03? I don't know if that. I
Yeah.
guess that was maybe that was a little more fresh. Like that was when it was happening.
Yeah, I
the
think it was.
the Baja men were reaching their climax.
Yeah.
So maybe
one of the songs I'm surprised isn't on this list is Cotton Eye Joe.
Oh my gosh. they play at the Rays game all the time.
I feel like it's canned too, man. It's the same. That
Yes.
I think that old guy died a couple years ago, man. I don't think he's still alive.
Oh, the one that dances?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
They announced it.
Yeah, he's
It
not
was-
with us, man.
It was in the paper that he had passed on, but they were still going to use his video clips to demonstrate the song or the dance to the song.
Yeah.
All right. So here's a little man event competition. Okay.
Uh-oh.
Yes.
So before the show today, everybody got a wig like I just had on. I am going to ask each of these gentlemen a question. The one who gets it wrong has to wear their wig for the balance of the show.
Oof.
Oh wow.
I don't know.
Oof. That's high stakes.
Are we going to get any sort of a primer? Have
No.
any idea what we're about to be asked?
No.
Okay, that's weird. All right.
All right.
Oh,
The
boy.
first question is for the Chief.
Bring it.
What year did Queen release We Will Rock You?
Oh, come on, man. What year did Queen release We Will Rock You? I mean, okay, so I moved to Florida in 1979 and it had already been released. So it's prior to 1979. How much prior to 1979? I am unsure of.
You are in the wheelhouse.
Okay, that's a hint. I'm close, though. I'm going to go 1977. Why not?
Ding, 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 ding.
No! No!
Nice.
That just happened, boys and girls.
Ah,
Wow.
Boom. That's really right.
That's really right.
That's really right.
Oh my
All right.
goodness.
Pooh
Nice.
Bear, this one is Pooh Bear. This is right up your alley too. In fact,
Okay.
Pooh Bear, I would call this for you a softball.
Okay. I'm terrible at softball. You know this.
Okay. Well, that's relatively speaking. All right. What two bands was Randy Rhoads part of?
You
Ooh, I know
serious?
one.
Are you serious?
Yes.
That's it?
Is that a softball?
Kind of. I mean, well, one it might be a trick question because one is not really a band. He played with Ozzy Osbourne forever,
Yep.
and then he was part of the supergroup that was Quiet Riot.
Oh.
A super group.
Supergroup. Come on,
That's
feel
right.
the
Ding, ding, ding,
noise.
ding, 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 ding,
All right.
ding.
Come on, man. It's pressure's on.
Hey, by the way, I didn't know one of them. I thought I did, but I didn't.
what did you think?
Well, yeah, what,
Come on, man. I'm glad I got that 77 question now.
TSG, this one may not be fair. But, you are the guest, so that means it's okay to humiliate you in front of our audience.
Thanks. Always kind.
All right. So, what year did House of Pain release? Jump around, jump up and get down.
I was in high school.
Okay. So was I.
House of Pain.
I'm gonna.
Jump
Okay,
up,
so-
jump up and get down.
Tina, Tracy, Amy. Let's see.
Oh my gosh. Little experiment with Eric.
1994.
No. 1994 is the incorrect answer.
Wig of shame. Put
Wig
it
of
on
shame.
Wig of shame.
Oh.
Wig of shame. Do it. There it is.
Oh man, that's full on like Aunt Susie right there too, man.
Wow.
That is-
Look at that,
That is
thing. It's got like
terrible.
a bob on it.
Wow. Hi, Patricia.
Wow, you do look like a woman almost.
It's terrible.
We have
Eddie, you're
talked
right.
on
You're
it.
not lying. You know what though? He looks a little Patrick Swayze-ish right now. Actually,
Oh.
I mean, serious, man. Hey, can you do some karate?
Can you rip my throat out?
Are you
Can you launch me?
are you smaller than we thought? Are you shorter than we thought?
Oh man, how long am I gonna wear the whole rest of the show?
Listen, you only got 20 minutes left. You're going to be okay.
Yes.
You're going to be
Oh,
okay.
Karen. Wow.
Somebody call a manager. Somebody call a manager.
Call the manager.
Oh, man, that is great.
Aisle 7 at Target Beds and Linens. I've been
That is
accosted.
great. That is
Oh, my
great.
heavens.
Ah,
All right. Well, listen, after coming off of just a high of reminiscing our childhood, we have to talk about Thursday night.
boo.
Mm.
Boom, boom, boom.
Can we just go back to the race?
Yeah.
It's just
Oh,
Oh,
Lord.
man. Thursday night. Thursday night was a tough night to be a Tampa Bay fan.
Time out. Jose Altuve just went yard.
ooh.
Oh, man. I shouldn't have talked bad about him.
1-0
Beginning
trash
of the
cans.
show.
All right, 1-0. All right.
1-0 trash cans. Come on, Snell. Get it fixed.
Is that the first inning?
Yeah.
I mean, they just started
That
playing.
was the first batter. It was a 10 pitch at bat. So I mean, we got that going for us.
Was it the DePlane joke? I don't know.
Maybe.
Was it
Why
the
is my Adler triggered?
Wow.
Terrible.
Now, the sad part is that happened like 3 minutes ago. Pooh Bear just found out about it.
Oh man.
Stupid.
Boy.
Hillary line.
Yeah, the game was terrible. The
That was
a sad state of affairs on Thursday.
Hold on here. The first 28 minutes of that game
We're
was fantastic.
amazing.
We were having a blast.
That's
Yeah.
We were having fun.
Yeah.
Even though the Rays were losing at that time, we were having fun.
Yeah.
In fact, we were sitting around going, man, do you remember when it sucked to be a Buccaneers fan?
Last year.
Week
Week 1 this year. Yeah.
We were on our way.
Up 13 nothing with about 3 minutes left in the half.
Let's talk highlights. What are the good points? Right. Let's pull out the good points. So Rojo, Ronald Jones Jr.
100
had a
yards,
pretty,
over 100
pretty
yards.
good night.
Cameron Brate back on the field. Had some
Cameron
great
Brate.
catches.
Yep.
Oh,
Listen,
Tyler
Tom
Johnson,
didn't.
not the hockey
Tom
player,
didn't-
but the football
Yeah.
player.
Ooh. It was
Well, he
for
was
the
great in the first half. We didn't really see him in the second half.
yeah.
But in the
And
first half, when he was called on, he was good. You know,
side,
you go
side
back and
note,
look
the
at
other
it.
Tyler Johnson was released the next day. Just saying
Yeah.
that.
From the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Yep.
Yeah. Nobody's picked him up yet, though, so he may end up coming back to the table
True story, bro.
and negotiating there. But you said 106 yards for Rojo. That was on 17 carries for 6.2 yards. That's we
Listen, I've been vocal about the run game, but if you can get 6 yards a carry on a rush, I'll shut my mouth.
let's run more.
There you go. He had a full game with that.
When Brady was getting all those pressures,
And I don't think the Bears got too many yards on their side of the ball either.
no, they were like 30, 35 yards.
Rushing, yeah. So the rush game. Of course, we lost Vita Vea for the year.
Oh, that
Broken
hurts.
leg.
Hurts a
I
lot.
couldn't watch that.
I thought we were
That
talking
shit
about
very
the
bad.
positive things.
No,
We're
sorry.
saying- How about
Well,
Tristan Wirtz? Tristan Wirtz had his hands full with Khalil Mack, and I'm going to tell you, he went man to man with him, and as good as any veteran can do, I would say he did.
Yeah, and on
He
a
also
bad
got
leg.
body slammed by him.
He did get ragdolled a little bit.
He did get body slammed by
He was
Khalil
off,
Mack.
he was off. I'm gonna say he was off balance.
He was moving forward.
He was. You did no excuses aside. You could see that he was moving in an awkward way when Mac gave him a shove and just kind of helped him out.
And his right leg, or one of his legs was injured towards middle to the end of the game. They had mentioned that he was basically playing on one leg. So he's a tough guy, man. That's definitely is a positive to talk about.
So
yeah, I felt like Brady had an average game, but the Bears defense got to Brady all night long.
Yep.
Brady, like every other quarterback, has 2, maybe 3 seconds to throw the football. I don't care who your offensive line is. And Brady was taking the full advantage of the 3, and he was going 4. You know, he knows better. He knows that you've got to get rid of the ball faster than he's doing. And for some reason, the first couple drives, he was willing for the 5-yard pass, the 7-yard pass. He wasn't content with that in the second half. It looked to me he wasn't content with anything under 20 yards, and your completion rate is going to drop on that. Not to mention it takes more time, for those plays to develop. And he was picking longer routes to throw to, and it cost him.
So are we looking at this as due to the loss of Godwin and Howard and Scotty Miller clearly not 100%?
Well, Mike Evans isn't 100% either.
Right. So are we looking at that? Maybe that's why they weren't getting open. Maybe that's why there was time to hold on to the ball.
Every team in the NFL has critical injuries right now, and they will for the rest of the season.
Oh, absolutely. But I'm just saying,
blame injuries on a loss.
No, but you can blame that on why he was holding the ball so long. I'm not saying that they lost because of that. I'm saying that he was holding on to the ball because his star players, the players that have a blue chip next to their name, were not there to be able to get open and give him what he needed to see.
Yeah, he's got to find a way to do it faster.
So I think another thing that really killed us, penalties. It's like giving them a 12th man out there on the field.
Oh, and there was 2 penalties that were not penalties that were pretty bad.
The roughing the passer call,
the roughing the passer, and there was an offside. There was a false start where the Bears player actually moved first, but they called the Buccaneers player.
They called the Bucs on the
Those were
that. In fact, you go back to that one, Pooh Bear. You're right. That roughing the passer, that we would have gotten out of that series, which they ended up kicking a field goal, I believe, at the end of that series. We would have gotten our defense would have gotten off the field there,
which was the difference in the game.
Yeah,
John's got another comment about the 4th down, the very last play.
He definitely thought it was 4th down now. He definitely thought it was 4th down. He was still on the field. They had to tell him to get off the field.
Yeah.
So
they asked Bruce Arians, did Tom know? He went, he knew.
And
he knew.
And that wasn't what lost the game. So
no.
It's here nor there to me.
Well, I think the momentum really shifted at the end of the first half. We were up 13-0. They get a score on us, which, by the way, to the Bears' credit, that was a great drive that they had that got them that touchdown. Mm-hmm. And then, we take the fumble, we fumble the ball, and they get short field, and they end up getting, a field goal there. Actually, no, they ended up going up on us another touchdown.
They went 14.
They went up 14-13. We lose momentum again. All of those points were scored in I think it was less than a minute.
I think it was less than 2 minutes.
Less than 2 minutes. They scored 2 touchdowns at the end of the first half, and Chicago gets the ball coming out at halftime.
Mm-hmm. Where was Cairo Santos when we had him?
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
What is this?
Yeah.
And who's going to take the place of Vita Vea? Who's going to fill that spot?
Nachos.
Oh, I love
Nachos,
man.
That's his name. That's what we call him. I don't know. They say his name.
If you had to choose between pulled pork nachos, ground beef nachos, or brisket nachos, which way are you going?
I've never had brisket nachos, but I have pulled pork nachos all the time at the Trop when it's open, layered with jalapenos.
You're going pulled pork nachos.
I love brisket.
You could go plain nachos and just go no protein.
Just nachos and cheese. Well, you put some cheese on there.
Some cheese, some sour cream.
That's Baker Mayfield style there.
Jalapenos.
Yeah. Hey, so at the later in this day today, I went last minute and put together something here in regards to this game. Do you want to hear it?
Sure.
It's the difference of this game. So
wait, before you go on, John says, "Why have all three?"
Yeah, he's the solid point, man.
That's a good point. But first, let me put my accounting hat on real quick,
here we
because this is a numbers game that we're about to play here. I can't do it with my wig very well, but my accounting hat's on. Hang on.
It's okay,
So-
Karen. We can see it.
Yep. So, and I was doing a little bit of hang on. Alrighty. Yep. And okay. So,
Carry the one.
yeah. So a lot of things happened in this game where if you look at it, the Bucks either tied or they were better than the Bears. Time of possession, yards, all kinds of things. Quarterback rating, Brady had a better quarterback rating. We had more first downs, more converted third downs. So we had 339 total yards. The Bears had 243. But here's where I did a little bit of math and adding up. So penalties, we had 109 and the Bears had 66. The difference is 43 yards. Kick returns, they had Cordell Patterson who had 119 yards and kickoff return yards. We had 25. The difference is 94. Punt returns, Bucks win that one 20 yards to 6. Big whoop. Difference is 14. Sack yards for a loss, 35-yard loss for the Bears and 20 yards for the Bucks. When you take all that, including the penalties and the kick returns, and you take net yards, the Bucks netted 255. The Bears netted 267. They went up on us by 12 yards. And then you take Brady's fourth down debacle, and that's a 1-point loss. It adds up. It's math.
Wow. Mind blown.
I was trying to follow him, but my socks were on, and he lost me after, with some of that math.
Look, Pat, TSG, you bring up a great point about the kickoff returns, because I don't know that the Buccaneers kicker has had any kickoffs until this game that didn't go through the end zone. I don't remember any team we've played so far this year having any return yards on a kickoff. And not only was this guy getting return yards, he was getting the ball out to the 30, 35, 40-yard line.
Yeah,
between that and the penalty
as well.
That was a lot of yards, and it actually put them ahead when you do the net yards.
Yeah, the Saints game was horrible for special teams as well. Same thing, kick return, punt return, and I think the field goal kicker missed a couple of field goals. So there was a bobble, the botched punt. So the special teams that there you go. So special teams so far has been the unit that could be attributed with the two losses.
The other thing I would like to hear, and maybe you guys watch some of the post game. I didn't get a chance to, but we had the possession in the fourth quarter where we had the lead with right around 2.5 minutes to go.
The 16-second,
and we went 3 in and 3 out in 16 seconds.
Yep.
Yeah, we got to
coaching.
We got to eat some clock up there.
That's
that's all. I mean, had you eaten up even 105 seconds on that clock, we would have given them less than a minute to go down and score that game-winning field goal.
Yep.
They'd have been better off fullback dive, fullback dive, fullback dive, and then playing defense.
I think what we've got going on here is a team that's not gelling together yet. So you've got guys that are thinking outside of doing their job, kind of like Belichick used to talk about, do your job. When you start thinking about other people's jobs and things aren't exactly the way they're supposed to be, they're not meshing like they should. Mistakes like this happen. The Tom Brady mistake happened. The coaching mistake happens when you start calling plays that just don't fit the moment.
Bruce Arians was very clear about this. He said poor coaching, and he's going to fall on the sword. He's the head coach. He understands. He's the guy that's responsible for it. I didn't see Byron Leftwich. Where was he during those? We had in that 2 minutes before the first half and the 2 minutes at the end of the game. I mean, is that his game plan? I mean, he just gives the ball to Tom Brady and just says, "Good luck, Tom." That's not coaching.
Do we know who called the plays for that one series? Was that Leftwich calling the plays, or was that
I have
on
no
Arians?
Usually in the 2 minutes, the quarterback is calling the plays, but I don't know for sure. They haven't called me back on that one yet. But the microphone's open. The headset's open. I mean, that's just they needed one first down.
Yep,
and they would have won the game.
Well, and the other
correct.
point is, too, the goal of a late possession series like that is to make the other team burn their timeouts. The Bears had 3 timeouts. They ran the ball. The Ducks ran the ball once, causing the Bears to call a timeout.
Yeah.
The other 2 plays were incomplete passes, which stopped the clock for the Bears.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like we had 3. We had that last possession. 3 downs would have rolled 35 seconds each off the clock, right? That's like a minute. Was that a minute 40?
Don't make me put the hat back on.
Right, and we gave them back the ball with like 2 minutes and 35 seconds. So we could have given them back the ball with 50 seconds to go the 40 yards or whatever they needed to get a field goal, but instead we gave them. They had 2 timeouts and a 2-minute warning.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
bad coach.
It was awful. It was awful.
And
And
it shouldn't have been there to start with. This offense has enough weapons without Godwin, without Mike Evans. It still has Gronk. It still has Cameron Brate. We still have running backs. We still have receivers.
Scooter.
What's that?
Scooter Miller.
Scooter Miller, baby.
Yeah, Scooter's still there. Yeah, okay. That we shouldn't have been in that position. We stopped scoring points after the 28-minute mark or so in the first half.
Right.
And whatever the malfunction was, these guys need to figure it out.
And this team is not disciplined, and Bruce Arians is going to have to get very serious about this, because Mike Evans is always good for a couple of penalties, one offensive, pass interference, and then he's always good for a fight to get us another 15. And he's been doing this for years.
And Jensen too.
Well, see, I'm okay with it from Jensen because he's the center. He's the guy in the middle of all that. He's running the line. He's setting an example. He's setting a tone. I'm okay with him getting some after they play penalties. I'm not okay with Evans. That is just a lack of mental awareness. His cornerback, and he's got a reputation in the league. If you're a cornerback and you jaw jack with Evans, you're going to get under his skin, and he's going to play poorly.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And you'll get him to make a mistake and be the guy that the ref catches, the second person who makes a move.
We saw it in the Saints game. We saw it in the Bears game. We saw it in the Chargers game.
He has to be a leader, and these guys have to cut out the mistakes, or we're not going to go anywhere.
Yep, 100% right. I mean,
so I'm looking at the season in quarters. All right, 16-game season. We were 3-1 after the first quarter. We moved in the second. We lost the first game of the first quarter. We just lost the first game of the second quarter.
Yep.
Our next 3 opponents are Green Bay, Las Vegas, and the Giants.
Vegas just beat the Chiefs today.
Yep.
Green Bay has the best offense in the NFL.
Undefeated.
And who's the last team? I'm sorry?
The Giants, who are currently winless.
Okay.
No.
Did they lose? Because they were playing the Cowboys.
They were
winning.
By the way,
they were winless coming into the show.
Okay.
At one point in time today, do you know that the NFC East division leaders were the Philadelphia Eagles at 1-1?
Yes, and if the Giants do end up winning, the game is tied right now. If the Giants do end up winning, all 4 teams will have 1 win. They'll all be tied for first with 1 win after 5 games.
That's
crazy.
I hate playing.
So the reality is we could come out of this next 3-game set having be halfway through the season. You guys are saying there's 2 more losses there.
No, I'm not saying there's 2 more losses. I'm saying that we got to put the chin strap on and play smart.
But we could be 4-4 at the end of these next 3 games. Is 4-4 at the halfway point what you expected out of this season?
No, not for me.
No.
Mike, when do we get to play Atlanta?
Dude, not soon enough. Not soon enough. Oh, the thing is, the Bears, that should have been a win for us. Everybody knows it.
Should have been a win. Yep.
And we didn't whatever the reason was, we let it get to ourselves. We didn't take it serious. I don't know.
All right,
But
breaking
listen-
news: the Cowboys did end up going on to win, and Dak Prescott is out for the season with a crushed ankle.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow. Who's the
reporter,
backup
John
quarterback in Dallas?
Jason Garrett? No.
You
He's
know, it's funny
He's on
because
the other
last week
sideline.
on this show, Chief, we talked about how that win against the Chargers was a game we don't win a year
Right.
ago.
Yeah.
Right. And we're in a similar situation against the Bears, and we lost that game.
Cooper Rush is the backup quarterback.
A great football
Cooper
name.
Rush.
That is a
Never heard of
great
Is
football
that
name.
correct?
Where did he play college football at, TSG?
Let's see here. Doesn't say.
All right, Frambar Valdez just struck out the side to open the bottom of the first.
Okay. Well, listen, we're our time is up here. We didn't even get to everything tonight, which is okay. You know, I'm sure there was no good shenanigans in what we had left.
Oh,
John-
I got to take his wig off.
John says that Andy Dalton, the Red Rocket, is the backup in Cowboys land.
Okay. Thanks for the correction there.
The Red Rocket.
Yeah, Andy Dalton.
Andy Dalton from the
Andy
Bengals.
Dalton?
Oh wow, no kidding.
Remember when they drafted Burrows and cut?
Yeah,
Dalton.
that's right, and cut Andy Dalton. Oh man, what if Andy Dalton just comes out and blazes the rest of this season? I want him to. Now I want him to.
Just throws a quarterback controversy in Dallas.
Yes.
Gives Jerry
Where,
Jones.
where better to have a quarterback controversy?
Hey,
He is the backup. Yeah, he's right. Absolutely right. Andy Dalton.
Pooh Bear, take us home.
I'm going to let Mike Brasso take us home. Ladies and gentlemen, we had a great time tonight. Thank you, TSG, for joining us.
subscribe.
Like and subscribe. There you go. He's got it down.
Thanks for having me, guys.
All right. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, whatever you may be, try not to suck. Like, what's this guy's name? Aroldis Chapman sucked on Friday night.
Chapman, no regular lefty. 3-2. Brasso sends one into left field. Gardner going back, and it is up and gone. Mike Brasso has homered, and the Rays have a 2-1 lead. What a moment for Brasso. Tampa Bay on top on the 10th pitch of the at-bat.